there, Hallmark Hot Takers, and welcome to another riveting episode of Hallmark Hot Takes, where we watch, rate, and review all of the Countdown to Christmas offerings from the Hallmark Channel. And here to explain our rating system is Jason.
You seem much more awake tonight.
Well, because it's not 1:30 in the morning.
I know. This is amazing.
It's only 10:30.
This is crazy.
It's amazing.
It is a candy cane rating scale from half to 5. We combine them for a total score. So out of 10 candy canes on how much we like or
disliked
the movie. So what was up tonight?
Oh, well, this is the much anticipated, it's not even a sequel. It's like I don't know what you call it. Anyhow, Sister Swap, Christmas in the City, starring Kimberly Williams Paisley, Ashley Williams, real life sisters, and Keith Robinson.
And
I will give billing in this one to Kevin Nealon because he actually was in this movie a little bit.
3 times.
So I'm going to jump into the rapid recap. If you saw the first Sister Swap, you know the story, but this one,
if you haven't, though, pause this video,
yes.
Go back, watch that one.
Go watch, because you kind of do have to watch the first one, or you're going to be a little bit lost, I feel like.
Right.
So go watch the first one. So this one follows Meg as she takes over for her sister Jennifer's restaurant. Well, Jennifer is back home doing the thing with the theater. So Meg and Joe, who is I think he's the manager of the restaurant, they are planning a big party for the restaurant that a magazine is sponsoring, and the winner gets $25,000 to the charity of their choice, and their choice is the local food bank. And we find out that Joe has been a volunteer there for many years. It's a cause that's very close to his heart. So they go, and what the Marianne, who is the director of the food bank, wants to do with the money if they win, she wants to turn it into like a store where people could walk around and actually have choices about what they want instead of just getting like random boxes of food. So that was her vision so they're really working towards that. And so Meg and Joe are planning this party together, and they definitely have opposite personalities.
Oh, yeah.
Like Meg's very big picture crazy, and Joe's like, by the book, this is what we're doing ABC. So they clash a little bit, but they clearly start to like each other, and then things start to go south when the chef at the restaurant quits very suddenly, so they have to scramble for a new chef, not just for the restaurant, but also to make food for the party. And so it causes a little bit of friction, and Meg is supposed to be going to France after the holidays, and Joe is reluctant to start anything with her because he doesn't want to start something that they can't finish if she's going. And Meg is still a little bit floundering. She doesn't really know what she wants out of life, and so they kind of put any romance on hold. And then we know from the other movie that towards the end, her and Jennifer decide that they're going to go into business together. Joe takes a job with the food bank and leaves as the manager. So Meg is going to take that over, and her and Jennifer are going to go into business. And then they're also going to run the new thing at the theater. And then at the end of the movie, there's a big snowstorm that puts the plans for the party not so great. The magazine cancels everything, but fear not, Meg's got an idea. She gets all the restaurants together, and they find a new venue that everyone can walk to if they want, and they have the party, and some Frank, random restaurant dude, pledges the rest of the money to the food bank, and her and Joe kiss in the photo booth, and that is Sister Swap, Christmas in the City.
Sister Swap 2.
Sister Swap. Stay tuned for the review. Okay, so the ratings portion is my favorite portion.
This is your favorite portion.
I don't like the recap portion.
No? What about the previews? That's like a minute.
Yeah, okay. So I'm going to start with my dislikes for this movie. That's a good sign. There's not a ton of high stakes in this movie. It was kind of a low angst sort of movie, which was fine. It's just...
Well, because you knew what
was going to happen. You knew she wasn't going to France, so you didn't really... I mean, you would have known that anyway, but... You couldn't even pretend that you knew that.
I have that as a negative, is that you knew the whole story.
Right.
Like, you knew everything. Like, you was just like, oh, this is a different perspective of it.
Right.
But you knew start to finish how this thing was going.
Right.
Like, more so than a regular Hallmark movie.
Right. So when they start getting RSVPs for the party, they end up getting more RSVPs than the restaurant will hold.
Yeah.
Party planning 101, you don't invite more people than you can hold. You would limit the guest list, I feel like. to only.
But you wouldn't know though, right? Like, so if you have a capacity of 200, and then it's
you
RSVP.
stop taking reservations when you hit your capacity and you say we're done.
Yeah,
you can't just keep
you're
taking
out.
reservations for the fire department is not going to let you do that.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
The chef quits with no notice. I didn't like that.
No,
she should have given notice. She really put them in a bind. And I get that her sister just had triplets and she needed the help, but good Lord.
But like, it was like a family friend. Like, she was like roommates with the other sister in college, I think. Like, it was like they were really close. It wasn't like just
well,
random
that's why
chef.
they were all really happy for her. But on the inside, they were like, oh. It caused a lot of problems.
Yeah.
So Meg scares off Frank's daughter. So Frank is a regular customer who comes in every day for lunch. And he is on the outs with his daughter. He hasn't spoken to her. He doesn't spend Christmas with her.
No.
She's a donor at the food bank, so she ends up getting invited to the party. And they use Frank's picture as one of the marketing pieces. And so she comes, and Meg gets really excited and like totally scares her off. And I'm like, dude, Meg needs to calm down.
I thought overall Meg's character was a bit much.
She was a bit of a meddler.
Yeah, but I think she was a little bit too much for me. Like, she was just really, really flighty. Like, the whole thing.
I don't think she was flighty. I think she was just very... She can't stop herself.
Right.
But she did acknowledge in a moment of self-awareness that she was a meddler and that she sometimes shouldn't do that. So I appreciated that. And then the other thing at the end of the movie, they did a photo booth, and at the end, Frank, before she gets in there, he's just in the photo booth taking pictures by himself.
Yeah, I
don't
don't. With poinsettia, like, I don't know what he's doing.
Weird. What didn't you like?
I don't like that. Like, I felt Meg was a little bit too loose with like her sister's business. Like, I felt like there wasn't as much care in the business as like, okay, am I just doing this because it's fun? Because she just felt like she's just this fun kind of happy-go-lucky spirit person. Right. It's like, dude, this is your sister's business, and like, you're supposed to be taking care of it with that lens, not, oh, this could be more fun if we did this or more fun of that. It's like
she kind of started taking it more seriously once the food bank got involved, and she realized. But in terms of just, she kind of bit off more than she could chew, it seemed, and then needed a little bit of a bailout from Joe. Yeah.
And then the roads are awful, and then they come in from out of town. Like, and the
They're
dad's
mountain folk.
They're mountain folk. We got chains on the tires. I'm like, I don't care. It's very dangerous.
They came. They're fine. They can travel through. They even
I didn't like
Utah.
that. And I didn't like him in the photo booth. I was like, what the hell is he doing in the photo booth by himself? It's not like he waved to her or like motioned her. No, he was in there by himself.
With the poinsettia by himself. It was so weird. He couldn't figure out why.
What about good? What did you like about this? You got a whole list.
I got a list. So Kevin Nealon.
Yes!
So he's actually, and so when they don't just do video flashbacks, like they do flashbacks where he's actually in the movie. As their uncle, I loved it. Hallmark needs to make Kevin Nealon a Hallmark dad.
Yeah,
he better be in a movie next year, or I'm gonna be real mad.
Yeah, I'm hoping that Hallmark watches this video and knows that
put him in
the star power
Hallmark
he brings.
Dad.
Hallmark Dad,
please. The cookies they made, they weren't trash cookies at the cookie making. They were really good.
What about the part where he was getting some garlic? We thought he was getting holly for the party, and she's like, that's mistletoe. And he's like, that would just get you a kissing party. And I'm like, oh, right.
Yeah.
That's a
well, she
crazy.
even said that could be kind of fun.
That's a crazy party.
And he's like, no, I'll just go with the holly.
Right.
I love the free grocery store idea for the food bank. I think that's just, I think that's a great idea. It's like shopping with dignity kind of thing, and I like that.
I do like that.
Joe being stressed, he comes to her house, and he's got 2 cups. And she opens the door, and it's the morning, and he's like, I brought coffee. And she's like, well, not hot chocolate. And he's like, why does everybody have to have hot chocolate this time of year? Can't I just drink coffee? And because he was stressed out because everything was going to hell, and I kind of liked it. Because Joe was kind of that person. Like, the planner, A, B, C, D, there's the plan we're going to execute. I thought they balanced each other out well, though. They did a good job of them being complete opposites, but they ended up working really well together, and they did balance each other out, so I kind of like that.
Well, it's funny because it's kind of like the other movie, right? Like, because they were balancing each other out.
Right.
And like, and then they're like, if we ever joined up, we would be unstoppable. It's very similar here.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a nice tie back.
I love the Uncle Dave flashback when they were decorating the tree at the Madison. I thought that was really
Uncle Dave
adorable.
got me the feels, man.
He did give me the feels, and I really liked that.
I liked it, but I didn't like it. I don't like the feels.
We got a little bit more of Simon.
Yeah, little Simon, he caught us Meg's spine on him.
When he was talking to his mom about having to go back to Salt Lake.
That was weird.
That was great.
What about Marianne's sweater? Meowy Christmas.
Meowy Christmas, that was amazing.
Yes, Meowy Christmas.
Frank, random restaurant guy, he makes up with his daughter, and then he saves the day by saying he's going to underwrite anything that Marianne needs for the food bank. Screw all those other charities, but food bank's getting their due. And I thought that was great because you didn't know Frank was wealthy.
No, never once. I mean, you kind of knew because he ate there every day. Like, who can afford to eat out every day?
I don't know,
right?
But I don't know. Well, you knew his daughter might have been wealthy because she was on the donor list for the invite. So you thought, but yeah, I didn't see that coming. I thought that was a nice twist.
I thought that was kind of creative. That like it was a good photo, and then that tied back to like the daughter.
Right.
It wasn't like Meg was like found the daughter. Like I was hoping that wasn't going to be the case.
Right, because then she really would have been a meddler. She already meddled.
Like, hey, listen.
And then at the end, so Frank, at the end of the movie, I said Frank and Marianne, the food bank lady, should get together. And at the end, they danced. So in my mind, they're together.
That'll be the sequel.
I like it. So those are my likes. You got anything to add?
No, I kind of was adding as you were going.
You were.
I thought that was a good twist.
So nothing else?
I think it was kind of fun. Like, as much as it was ruined that we knew the whole story, it was kind of fun seeing the other side and seeing the overlaps. I'm like, oh, that kind of makes more sense. Like, when they lost the chef, you got to see, like, those bits and pieces of, like, trying to hide it. Or not hide it, but just not share it with.
So until they had a plan.
Until they had a plan. So I thought that was good. And then just a lot of the background. So it was a good supplemental movie, not necessarily sequel.
Yes, it wasn't a sequel. It was a concurrent movie.
What about a concurrent Candy Cane rating?
I think you should give your rating first. Are you torn?
The swap, the original, the OG swap was a fantastic movie. I think there was a little bit here and there that I didn't love in this one. So I will go with 4.5 Candy Canes.
That is an interesting rating. I agree. It is not as good as the first Sister Swap movie, but it was still charming. I still have a long list of likes. And the stuff that I didn't like, I can live with. And I liked that they brought in Uncle Dave a little bit more with her and like the travel and what he meant to her. And I really like that part. And so Jay, I'm going to echo your 4.5 and give this a 9.
9.
It was pretty good. I mean,
that is a pretty good rating.
Yeah, good job, guys. Good job to Ashley Williams and Keith Robinson, and of course to Kimberly Williams Paisley and the whole gang, and Kevin Nealon too.
It was hard because it was very closely rated against the other Sisters. Right. So like on its own, it might have gotten itself to a 10, but you're like, all right, I know what another 10 was in a very similar.
And I think the reason that this one didn't get a 10 is because the theater in the first one was the whole emotional pull. This one didn't really have that.
It had the food bank.
It did, but the emotional pull of Uncle Dave and everything, like that was the theater, and that was I got more feels from that one than I did from this one. So
all right.
So
Previews. We're in the home stretch. There are 3 left. So let's preview the next one. Thank you. So what's up next?
All right. So preview time says the next movie up is called Sugar Plum Twist.
Oh.
Starring Jamie Gray, Hyder, Hector Riviera, and Laura Rosgier. I don't know how to pronounce that. So professional ballerina Natalia returns home to Richmond at Christmas and works with a ballet student who has a flair for Latin dance.
Natalia, the ballerina.
She could
Very
be
clever.
Is she Russian?
She is. She's a spy. She's actually the Black Widow.
Actually, the Black Widow.
Yes.
Natasha. So we have learned on this show to not judge movies by their stupid names, but
Whoa.
I don't like the name of this movie. But I'm not going to prejudge it because I've done that before. and it was a good movie.
Yeah,
so
we'd never do that. We'd never do that here on this channel.
We're very non-judgmental.
Again, 3 left.
We're hitting in the home stretch, so we will see you next time.
Bye.